Good morning from Sausalito, California. We're going to be moving through a 20-minute slow flow practice this morning. And the practice is invitational, so feel free to rest when you need to rest or adjust the postures to suit your body at any point. And we're going to begin lying on the back of the body, so you can meet me on the back of the body. We'll start by hugging the knees in towards the body, taking hold of the front of the knees, and just rocking a little side to side here, massaging through the back body. And then taking the hands to the front of the knees and starting to draw small circles around your sacrum. You can start to send these circles in the opposite direction, massaging through the sides of the hips and the lower back. And then we'll hug the right knee in towards the body, flex through the right foot and send the left leg long. Then picking the head up towards the right knee, take hold of the back of the right leg. And if it's comfortable, you can settle the head and shoulders back down to the ground. And then drawing the right knee in towards the body, taking the right arm out to the side and drawing the right knee over to the left side, coming into a gentle twist. And then coming back through center, we'll hug both knees in towards the body, send the right leg out long this time. And then pick the head up to meet your left knee and take the left leg long. And then if there's space, you can settle the head and shoulders down. Bending through the left knee, taking the left arm out wide and drawing that right knee over to the left knee over to the right side. And then we'll lift back through center here, hug both knees in towards the body and start to rock and roll 2 to 3 times, massaging the spine if that feels comfortable in the spine. And then you can rock all the way up, either rolling over the knees or taking your legs to one side, coming onto all fours for tabletop position. And starting to roll through the spine in cat-cow. So inhale to lift the gaze, chest and tailbone. Exhale to curve through the spine, drop the crown of the head forward. And just continue to move with your natural breath, your natural rhythm. We'll take 2 more of these rolling cat-cow sequences. And coming back to a neutral spine. Join the big toes together, take the knees wide, sink the hips back to the heels, reach the arms forward. Just rocking the head a little side to side here, massaging through the forehead. And then coming onto the fingertips, walking the palms all the way over to the left side of your mat, so you get a nice stretch down the right side body. Shoulders relaxed here. On your next inhale, walk the hands to the other side of the mat, stretching through the left side body. And then walking back through center, drawing the knees underneath the body, coming into melting heart posture. So rising onto the fingertips, keep the hips lifted and drop the head and chest forward. If you would like a little more sensation here, you can bring your chin to the mat. We'll take 2 more breaths here. And then from here, sink the hips back to the heels, sweep the palms beyond the feet, and lift the hips open through the chest. If it's okay on the neck, drop the head back. And then chin to chest, sink the hips, Sweep the hands forward and slowly make your way back to downward facing dog. And we'll walk it out through the legs, knees, ankles and hips. Eventually finding stillness and finding your alignment here. So palms are around shoulders width distance apart and feet are about hips width distance. Relaxing the shoulders. You can soften the knees as much as you need here. What we're looking for is a nice long spine. On your next inhale, rolling the spine all the way forward to plank pose. And then on the exhale, soften the knees and push back to downward facing dog. We'll do 2 more of those with the breath. Just finding your own pace and your own rhythm. And then we'll land together in downward facing dog. Just take a moment to adjust and pause. On your next inhale, lift the right leg up, opening the right hip into Scorpio pose. Inhale, extend the right leg, closing that hip and stepping all the way through to runner's lunge. Just grounding down here for a moment. Left palm stays to the ground, reaching the right arm forward, coming full circle all the way around. Framing the front foot. And then we'll step back to downward facing dog from here. Coming onto the other side, left leg lifts, peeling that hip open. Extend the left leg, closing the hip, stepping all the way through. Finding your runner's lunge. Right palm to the ground, reach the left arm forward, full circle, opening through the chest. Framing your front foot, and then we're going to step to the front of the mat from here. Forward fold, so take the feet hips width apart. You might like to clasp your opposite elbows here and sway a little side to side. Letting the upper body and the neck release. Maybe shaking the head a little, yes and no. And then letting the hands drape towards the ground. Taking the palms behind the tailbone and clasping them together. Bend through the knees, and if there's space here, you can explore opening through the shoulder girdle. Drawing the palms towards the front of the mat. Palms come back to the tailbone. We'll let them drape back down towards the mat. Take a deep inhale here. And then on the exhale, folding deeply. And we'll start to slowly unravel the spine, letting the fingertips drape over the body as you unravel, reaching the palms up. Maybe a slight back bend if that feels good. And on your exhale, letting the fingertips brush back over the body, folding all the way back down. Forward fold. Take a deep inhale here. Exhale to slowly roll the spine up, unraveling the spine, bringing some self-touch and sensation into the skin. And then we'll melt forward one more time, letting the fingers brush the body. Fingertips touch the ground, and we'll slowly walk back to downward facing dog from here. Inhale to reach the right leg back, drawing the right knee in towards the chest, dome through the upper back to step through to your runner's lunge. This time we'll turn the left foot on 45 degrees. The hips are starting to point forward, preparing for warrior one. Inhale the hands up. You can soften a little here to neutralize the pelvis, soften the back knee, soften the shoulders. And then we'll inhale to reach the torso forward on the angle of your back leg and then send the palms back to arrowhead. Inhale, sweep the hands up and exhale to warrior two. So you don't have to land perfectly in the posture. Take some time to find your way in. And then we'll flip the right palm up, reverse warrior. Drawing the right elbow to your right knee, reaching the left arm beside the left ear. Feel free to take any other variations of side angle here. Maybe lowering your fingertips to the inner right foot. And then on the next inhale, we're going to send the palms back to reverse triangle. So straighten the front leg, send the right palm back, stretching through the side body. And then arms to shoulders height. We'll bring the right toes to the left side of the mat and come into an open-legged forward fold. Bringing the hands to the ground, turning the toes slightly in, the heels slightly out, and tipping the weight of the body further into the balls of the feet. Letting everything hang here for a moment. You can soften the knees if you like. We'll bring the left palm in front of the face, reach the right arm up, opening into a twist. And then closing that palm down, coming to the other side, reach the left palm up. And closing that palm down. From here, we're going to walk the palms over to the right foot, coming into Skandasana. So sitting on your right heel, flexing through the left foot, fingertips to the ground. If you feel like having a play with the balancing posture here, you can bring your left palm to the heart. Find your core first. Maybe the right palm floats up, even just for a second. Remembering that we're aiming for a still mind. Doesn't matter how wobbly the body is. We'll bring the right palm to the inner right knee, reaching the left arm up, opening through the chest, and then closing that palm down. We'll slowly walk the hands to the other side. So sitting on your left heel, flexing through the right foot. Take a moment just to find your balance here. Find the core, that's where your balance comes from. Maybe one palm floats up. Maybe another palm, softening the shoulders here, remembering your breath. And then left palm to the inner left knee, reaching the right arm up, opening into a twist, and then closing that palm down. We're going to walk towards the back of the mat now. So we land in a runner's lunge on the other side. And then from here we'll come into our standing sequence on the left side. So right foot on 45 degrees. Preparing to inhale up to warrior one. Softening the shoulders here. Soften the back knee and the shoulders. Neutralize the pelvis. And then we'll lean the body forward, send the palms back to arrowhead. Inhale, sweep the hands up and open to warrior two. You can shuffle around a little here. Find the right place for yourself in the posture. And then we'll flip the left palm up to reverse our warrior. Bringing the left elbow to the left knee, reaching the right arm beside the right ear. Really rotating the right rib cage towards the ceiling, softening the shoulders here. If you want to try a different variation, you can bring the left fingertips to the inner left foot. On our next inhale, reaching all the way back to reverse triangle, left palm sends back overhead. And then we'll bring the arms to shoulders height, hands to the heart. Bring the left toes towards the right side of the mat. And then this time turning our heels slightly in, toes slightly out. Coming into goddess pose. So dropping the tailbone between the heels. We're going to move through some Tai Chi from here. So bringing the palms just below the belly button. On the inhale, lifting energy up towards the chest. And on the exhale, pressing it away, curving through the spine. Inhale to lift the hands up and exhale to float the palms down. You can try this with the eyes closed for a little bit of a balancing act as well. We'll do two more. Just moving with your breath. Strong through the legs. On your last exhale, you can Lengthen the legs. We'll turn the toes back towards the front of the mat. We're going to pivot on the back foot to land in a runner's lunge over the right leg. And then from here, inhale to step back to downward facing dog. Just take a moment to walk it out through the knees, ankles, and hips. We're making our way into sleeping swan from here. So if you know that this is too much for the hips, I'm going to offer a variation. So just bear with me for a moment. So we'll start by sending the right leg back and then bringing the right knee to your right wrist. Untuck the back toes. You can have a play with where you like to have the shin, what angle. I like to have it a little closer to the groin. Feels like a bit more of a gentle variation of pigeon. If this is already too much on the hips, you can lean into that right hip and bring the left knee towards the sole of the right foot to come into more of a deer shape. And then you can experiment with leaning the body over your right hip, over your right thigh. So the area we're targeting is the outer right hip flexor. So wherever you feel the stretch is exactly where you need to be. So don't worry about what it looks like. Just settle in and look for sensation instead. So you may like to stay lifted here, or if there's a little more space, you can come onto the forearms, maybe even resting the head onto the ground. We're going to stay here for a good 3 deep breaths. And we'll slowly start to make our way back up. Tucking the back toe, stepping back to down dog. Just walk it out through the legs again, opening through the knees, ankles, and hips. Coming onto the other side, so left leg lifts. And then we'll bring the left knee to the left wrist, planting the shin and untucking the back toe. So it might feel very different on this side of the body. Each side of the body carries different stories and histories. So if you feel as though maybe deer is better for you on this side, you can bring your right knee to the sole of the left foot and just experiment with folding over that left leg, or experimenting with this axis for folding forward. You might feel it a little more if you come through center. Or perhaps after experimenting with that, pigeon feels better for your body. And then you can find your own depth here. We'll stay for 3 deep breaths. And then slowly lifting back up. You can lean into the left hip this time, and we'll swing the right leg around in front of us. Bending through the knees and taking the feet hips width apart, joining the palms of the hands together. Trying to keep the feet grounded down here so there's a little bit of core work. We'll just slowly roll the spine back down to the mat. And take a moment to stretch the body out. So lengthening through the arms and the legs. Taking a deep inhale through the nose. And on your exhale, just letting the whole body sink and relax into the mat for a moment here. We'll take 3 deep breaths here. Just a moment of pause. And then from here, we'll start to bend through the knees. Planting the feet, drawing the heels close enough to your sit bones so the fingertips can brush the back of the heels. Take a deep inhale into the belly here, arching slightly through the back. And on your exhale, slowly peel the spine up off the mat. If you would like to invite an arm movement into this rolling bridge, you can also send the palms beyond the crown of the head. And then on the exhale, slowly roll the spine down, let the palms float beside the hips. We'll take another 4 of these rolling bridges, just moving with your breath. The height of the bridge can be as high as feels comfortable for your spine, so it can be a micro movement or a macro movement. Take our last round of bridge here. And then hugging the knees in towards the body, giving yourself an embrace here. We'll rock side to side a little, just massaging through the back body again, ironing out any creases in the spine. And sending the knees in circles, massaging the space around your sacrum, sides of the hips, lower back. And then drawing the soles of the feet together, taking the knees wide and bringing the palms to rest on the lower belly. You can close down the eyes if that's comfortable, or you can keep them open if that helps you to stay focused. We'll just take a moment of 3 deep, full body breaths here. So drawing the breath all the way through the chest, ribs, deep into your belly, and then on the exhale, release and empty the body of breath. 2 more breaths like this. You may like to stay in this shape or start to move towards a shape that you would like to spend your Savasana in. You might like to have the hands resting on your body for some weight therapy or beside the body. Wherever you are, just landing with the breath. So this is the most important part of the practice, where we can integrate all of the beautiful physical, emotional, and energetic effects of the practice. So giving yourself permission for deep rest here. If the mind starts to wander off, which it naturally will, just gently inviting the mind back to focus on the rhythm of the breath rising and falling in the body. Or if that mindfulness technique doesn't resonate so much today, you can also focus your attention on your sensory awareness, so noticing what you can hear, noticing any smells, any tastes in the mouth, noticing what you feel, so the atmosphere on your skin, perhaps the temperature of the room. We'll take 5 more deep breaths here together.